They say Lagos never stops moving, but sometimes, life forces you to stop and realize that everything you've been chasing might not be what your soul truly needs. That was the thought that crossed Emmanuel Okechukwo's mind the day his car broke down in the middle of Surulere traffic. A single moment that would change everything. Emmanuel was the man everyone wanted to be. At 35, he had built one of Africa's most successful tech companies from scratch. His name was printed in magazines, his words quoted at business conferences, his face a symbol of the Lagos dream. From the outside, he had it all: wealth, influence, respect. But inside, his heart was restless. Money had bought him comfort, not contentment. Then came Blessing, the one person who didn't see him as a millionaire, but as a man. It happened one rainy afternoon. His luxury car had stalled near a small public school, and while his driver tried to fix the engine, a young woman walked by, holding a bright yellow umbrella. She smiled at him, warm, effortless, genuine. "You'll catch a cold," she said, offering shelter. That was the beginning. Blessing was a teacher, devoted to shaping young minds despite the odds. Her voice carried kindness. Her laughter was light. Emmanuel found himself returning to her school, donating books, helping with supplies, but secretly, just to see her again. She wasn't impressed by his money. She cared about purpose, not possessions. She prayed before meals, sang joyfully, and found peace in the simplest things. Emmanuel fell for her hard. She brought color to his gray world, grounding him in ways success never could. For a while, they were happy. He learned humility. She learned trust. They shared meals at roadside bukas and late-night talks about faith and dreams. Lagos seemed slower when they were together, peaceful, human. But love has its trials, especially when pride lurks near. His friends mocked her modesty. The tabloids called her a lucky charity case. Slowly, those whispers turned into walls. Emmanuel began to doubt. Not her, but himself. One evening, blinded by pride and fear of judgment, he ended it. Blessing didn't argue. She looked at him calmly and said, "I only wanted your peace, not your money." Those words would haunt him for years to come. That night, as he drove back through the city lights, Emmanuel felt something inside him break, though he didn't yet realize it was his heart. Months passed, and Lagos continued to hum with the sound of ambition. Emmanuel threw himself deeper into work. Meetings, mergers, endless travel. He told himself success would fill the emptiness. But it didn't. Every applause sounded hollow. Every award reminded him of who wasn't there to celebrate. He dated new women, glamorous, educated, confident, but they saw him as the billionaire bachelor, not the man behind the name. Conversations felt rehearsed, laughter forced, and every time one of them said, "You're so lucky," he thought, "if only you knew what I lost." At night, in his Banana Island mansion, silence grew loud. He missed Blessing's gentle prayers, her voice reminding him to breathe. One lonely evening, he opened her social media and froze. There she was, still teaching, smiling, surrounded by children. She looked radiant, peaceful, fulfilled. She had moved on, and he was stuck in success. Seeking clarity, Emmanuel visited his mother in Enugu. She was a wise woman, strong and discerning. After a long silence at dinner, she looked at him and said, "You've gained the world but lost your joy. Son, if success makes you lonely, then it's no success at all." Her words struck deep. That night, Emmanuel sat awake replaying Blessing's smile in his mind. For the first time, he admitted the truth. He missed her. Not because she completed him, but because she reminded him who he truly was. He returned to Lagos the next morning and drove straight to Surulere. When he saw her again, standing before a classroom of children, he almost broke down. "Blessing," he whispered when she stepped outside. "I made a terrible mistake." She smiled faintly. "No, Emmanuel. You made a choice, and every choice has a lesson." She walked back inside, leaving him with a heart heavier than ever. That day, Emmanuel realized something money could never buy: forgiveness. Emmanuel began his journey to redemption quietly. He didn't use his wealth as a weapon this time. He used it as service. He repaired the school's leaking roof, donated computers, and provided scholarships for students. But this time, there were no headlines, no cameras, no name tags. He worked in silence, humbled by purpose. Blessing noticed, though she pretended not to. One Saturday afternoon, she found him helping the maintenance crew paint a classroom wall. His white shirt stained with blue paint, his hands rough with effort. For a moment, she just watched. The same man who once sat atop the city now kneeling to scrub floors for children. "You've changed," she said softly. "I had to," he replied. "I lost everything that mattered because I thought I had everything I needed." From that day, their bond slowly rekindled, not through gifts or apologies, but through actions. He volunteered at her community events, showed up for the children, and learned patience. The man who once moved fast in the world now waited for one woman's trust to return. When he finally gathered courage to speak again, he said, "I know words aren't enough, but I'll prove this every single day." Blessing smiled faintly. "Love isn't about perfection, Emmanuel. It's about growth. Time will tell if yours is real." And so he waited humbly, quietly, faithfully. A year later, at the school's annual cultural celebration, Blessing was the keynote speaker. Emmanuel sat in the audience, dressed simply, listening as she spoke about forgiveness, growth, and faith. Her voice was steady, confident, full of light. "When people change," she said, "it's not for others to believe instantly. Change must be lived, not declared." Their eyes met. The crowd faded away. For the first time in years, she smiled, truly smiled, at him. That evening, as rain began to fall, Emmanuel offered her his umbrella. They walked quietly, just like that first day. He turned to her. "I lost you because I listened to pride. But now I know. Pride builds walls, love builds bridges." She nodded. "And forgiveness is the road that connects them." He laughed softly, tears in his eyes. "Then let's walk that road together." Blessing smiled. "Slowly this time, Emmanuel." And so they did, not as millionaire and teacher, but as two souls reborn by humility and grace. The rain poured, Lagos lights shimmered, and peace returned to Emmanuel's heart. Life lesson. Pride can destroy what love patiently builds, but humility can heal what pride once broke. True love isn't found in wealth or power. It's found in the courage to change, the patience to wait, and the grace to begin again.